Okay, your existing developments that you have right now, one of them being a 32-unit development in Southern Nevada. What city is that in?
So it's in Pahrump, which is about 55 minutes away from Las Vegas.
Okay. And then also a 10-unit South Bend
That's up in Indiana.
in Indiana.
Exactly, yeah.
Cool. I just know the guy that is very bullish on Indiana.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting market, where there's a lot being built there, apartments. We think that's a little bit oversaturated is apartments because it is a college town. But our product is we're going after the alums. They have 8 to 10 football games a year, and a lot of times they just they call them. I think they say they were helicopter parents as well too that come into town as well too. So they're very affluent in that way where they just want a place to stay, with their family to go to their games. And then after that, they just, maybe just Airbnb it and things like that. And so
you're building this product through the opportunity zones.
Mm-hmm.
And then are you selling all of these individually? So like this 32 unit you're developing in Southern Nevada, is the goal to build these, let's call them, SFR 2, let's call them 3 units just for the sake of time, or duplexes, or actually a house with an ADU. I don't know. Is it a house with an ADU in Nevada? Is that how they're technically describing it? Because in San Diego or in California, which I'm much more familiar with, it's not a duplex. It is a house and an ADU. Are they classifying it the same way in Nevada?
Yeah, so they call them casitas there. And so they're classifying it in our trio product, which is a single family.
Trio product.
Trio. We call it trio because we don't want to say triplex. It's not official a triplex.
Interesting. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
It's just, again, too, I'm always looking at, again, you don't want to misspeak and things like that. And so...
No, it's good marketing.
It's good marketing, yeah. So... they call it a casita, and so what we on the development side, we did a house hack to where we were able to add the 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and again, it's on 1 acre, and then we have a junior casita that shares the wall with the garage. So it's like a extended 3-car garage, which I've made into 2, and we use that as like a studio.
Okay.
And then again, you have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, right? And so there's a lot of flexibility there.
So it's sort of like a house, and then what would be considered a duplex.
Exactly.
So 2 doors under 1 roof.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's your trio product.
That's a trio product.
And you're building 32 of those in this development right now in Nevada.
No, those are just one-offs. So we built about 3 of those. Now, the 32 unit, what we're building is zoned commercial, and that's right behind a Walmart. Right behind a Walmart. Right across the street.
And when you say commercial, that's all-inclusive for commercial. So what type of commercial?
Well, when we got started on it, it was zoned just commercial. You couldn't build any apartments. And what we applied for was called the CUP, conditional use permit, to move that parcel of land into a zone area to where we can build apartments. Okay. And so that took about 4.5 months to get that done.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah. And that's another reason why.
In Los Angeles, you'd still be working on that.
Again, and there you go. And then that's another reason why we choose Nevada as well, too.
Sure.
Things are a little faster. It's getting worse, but it's still not, like California, right?
No, it is like California. Maybe Hawaii. Well, probably Hawaii. Yeah. New York and some other places. But California is a tough place.
Yeah.
Especially to get zoning converted. Because they have the master plan. They're sticking to it. That's the great thing about San Diego, though, is what we're doing with the ADUs is we're building by right. So we're mitigating a lot of risk. We don't need to go to city council meetings.
Yeah. And
we don't need to get, civil involved. We don't need to do any of that stuff. Generally, we're staying right within our lane and simplifying it for ourselves and our customers. Because, again, it becomes a very slippery slope. Timelines, risk, flow costs, and it's just not worth it generally.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got the parcel rezoned. It was zoned for office or retail?
Just office, retail.
Okay, let's just say it was zoned commercial, but you could not build multifamily dwelling units there.
Exactly.
And so you guys got it rezoned, 4.5 months. And where are you in the process now, and how is that for you?
So we're now working with architects and things like that. We have to get some soils tests and things like that.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why we chose this piece of property is because what we looked at is there's a big need for, we call them micro units. Right? There's a lot of people on fixed income that don't have a place to live right now. And we learned that through the process of building all the homes that we build in Nevada on the calls that we're getting when we have house available. Even when we're renting out, you call that junior casita, which is a studio. It's about 288 square feet. And we're getting calls of families of 3 that want to rent that. And we're like, well, you can't fit 3 people on there. I mean, you can, but we wouldn't want to rent you that because it is tight, right? And so
it's just because the cost of living is so high.
It's so high, exactly. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to have a product that's about 500 to 540 square feet, okay? Think of it like IKEA. When you walk into those models in IKEA, where it's very functional and things like that, that's what it looks. So it's going to be a small one bedroom. Right?
Got it.
It's going to have washer and dryer inside as well too.
Okay.
But we're looking at, we're going to cap our rents at $1,000. Right? And so based on our costs and things like that, and the relationships that we have with our subcontractors and things like that, we feel like that is a sweet spot for a lot of people as far as getting that under that $1,000 a month.
So you're not concerned about, the inventory coming to market. I'm sure you guys have done your due diligence on the amount of units that are coming online.
Yes. So right now it's mostly just single family houses that are coming online.
Okay. So you guys are going to have a different product. And how does your price point and your product that you're bringing compare to the SFR market?
So what I would like to say is to give you a visual. It's kind of like in CNT, right? So in that area now, you have a lot of old units that don't even have washer and dryers in the units, right? Or you got people living in manufactured
You're talking
homes.
about from the multifamily perspective.
Multi-family
So
perspective.
you're talking about 50s, 60s builds, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
About 50, 60 build. Yeah.
Okay.
And you still have a large people living in the RV type of parks as well too. But again, to give you that visual, all the big guys are building already there. Okay, all the big builders are building. But as far as multifamily, a lot of projects have been turned down, and the reason why is they've been trying to build within residential areas. And in Pahrump, again, it's a good old boys town. They don't want it next to their houses, and they're just getting shut down.
Sure.
Right?
Politics.
And these bigger guys come in and they want to build a lot more units, right? And so again, we're a small guy, a small boutique developer. We decided to stay close to the commercial zone, which is behind the Walmart, and we had no complaints, and it got approved, right? And so we're just looking at the demand in a different way.
It's interesting because, developers, we talk about this and make jokes about it all the time, are always the bad guys in the movies, right? In reality, we're not. But there's a space to where there's a pro to being a small guy sometimes, and there's a pro to being a big guy.
I agree.
For every upside, there's a downside. And as an investor, you understand that, and I understand that. You can't look at one or the other, but you can't look at one and not look at the other. So there is upside to being small. You can come in, you can shake hands. Hey, we're not going to change your whole city, right? We're going to make this piece of property a little bit better. We're going to make your Walmart a little bit better. We're going to add more value to your city. These guys are going to come in. They're going to rent here. We're going to give them a place to live. They're going to be able to shop. They're going to be able to buy groceries. They're going to be able to buy gas. They're going to be able to work in this city. And they're going to add value to the city. We're not trying to come in and flatten everything, build the exact same house, like Lennar and KB would do. And then inversely, there's some cities that are like, we want Lennar and KB. We want that whole 500 acres right there to be built, and we want all these new homes coming in. We want new buyers coming in, and we want to build this thing as fast as we can. So as an investor, as you grow, we're very similar in age. I'm 42. Yeah, man, there are pros and cons, and so I'm glad that for you guys, Hamilton, you were able to capture that. The upside or the pro to being a smaller guy, a more boutique size operation, and so you guys, never lose hope or faith, and never sort of live through the eyes of someone else. There are pros and cons. There are things that Hamilton's group can do and our group can do as a smaller group with mobility, with making decisions quickly, being able to adjust on the fly if things go wrong. We can make decisions and move a lot quicker than a large entity sometimes. They have a problem, has to go up the chain, up the chain, up the chain, up the chain, and all of a sudden 6 months has gone by. And then inversely, sometimes they have a tremendous amount of capital, or they can move really large amounts of dirt, where for us, it's outside of our scope. So there are pros and cons. We're super niched in San Diego, and it sounds like you guys are super niched in Nevada, and you have built relationships there, and then also a couple other markets. So cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, I love it, dude. Thank you so much for sharing. The last segment we're going to do is our line skip hacks. So it's basically, golden nuggets. It's our guests that are walking through the fire, that have stood in a line to get where they are, that have gone to a ton of meetings, that have watched YouTube videos, that have accepted mentorship, that have walked through fear, that have invested capital, time, energy to learn the hard lessons to get to where you are in your career. And that line skip, or that line that you waited in, the line skip hacks are sharing some of that information with someone else that aspires to be where you are. Maybe they're 21, maybe they're booking loans, and now loans are real hard to book because, debt's expensive. And they're like, you know what Hamilton was saying registers with me. I want to be a developer. Or even to share more with your investor base and what you're looking for in an investor. Maybe they'll connect with you based on your story and the line skip hacks you have. So the way we go is like this. If you could be yourself again and live your life over again, what would you tell a younger version of Hamilton as far as a line skip hack? Hey, this is something you should be looking for. This is something you should avoid.
Well, something I would say to someone that's young is the biggest word I use, and I use it a lot, is sacrifice.